Well, it's another beautiful spring day, although it's leaning towards the warmer days of spring. I think we're in the 80s today, which is unusually high for March. But look at this Lady Banks yellow climbing rose. She is starting to really show out. Bees have been on her, enjoying her. They only bloom once, so this is her show. So in order to not let this be very dull throughout the seasons, I'm going to put a clematis to grow alongside it. That'll bloom late instead of early, and that way I'll have color 2 seasons of the year. But isn't that pretty? This is the Lady Banks yellow rose. And this is only her first full year in the ground. So her second spring, because I planted her in the spring. And here she is. She's grown a lot. She is already all the way over to the other side of the arbor. Can't really see, but here's one bloom. And then you come down and look. This one baby bloom all by itself. But yep, she's doing good. Just weave her in there. And I think she gets 10 feet. And this is a, so it's a 7-foot arbor. So 7 foot, one direction. So it's a 14 foot. I doubt, I don't know, we'll see if she can get all the way down to the ground, but I doubt she will. I think that she'll probably stop probably right where she's at. But I just think she's so pretty, and she is just putting on such a pretty show. Like if I come over here, she blooms at the same time as the red bud. So the red bud is blooming, but it's also putting out its leaves. That's not typical. I mean, most of the time they put out their blooms, and then their blooms die, and then their leaves push. But it's decided to do both of them at the same time. I think maybe it bloomed late, and so it's rushing, or you know, it's trying to get some blooms out, set some seeds before it gets too full of a canopy. And then I'm still working on the garden cleanup and such, but that Viburnum is starting to really show a pure white on the blooms. But I'm going to be digging that up and transplanting it somewhere else. But I'm going to let it bloom, and then after it's done blooming, then I'm going to move it. It doesn't make berries. It's not the kind that does, so I won't be losing in that. And then, of course, we have our flowers are about to open on this mock orange. The last previous year, oh, there's one open. I see one. Let's see if I can get around here. I see you in there. Oh, and a bug got your leaf. Well, But the previous years, I've smelt the flowers and they don't have any odor, but let me try real quick. No, I didn't think so. Yeah, this is definitely a odorless one. Oh well. I was really hoping that as it got older, it might create its fragrance. I got this from a plant swap, so I actually didn't know what variety it was anyway. And then I have a Confederate rose, and I've been patient, but I don't think it's alive. No, that's brown as brown can be there. Let's go further down. Nope, that one's dead. And I just wonder if it's gonna come back from the ground. That's dead there too. Let's go to the base. Oh yeah, there's no green. So, oh, but wait a minute. What is that? I think that might be it. Okay, so they do come back from the roots. good deal. So I'll come back over here and cut this down and let it grow back from the roots. Well, good to know. This is my first time growing it. I put it in the ground last year for the first time. I'll come back and do that. And this mock orange, it does have a very weeping habit. But let's take that leaf, let's take that leaf. Those are bad. Let's take that one too. Some of these leaves are sickly looking. But yeah, it has a nice pretty weeping habit. And if I had really planned this area out better, I would not have put it right by my walking path, and also then put my persimmon right there. So I've already trimmed and cut it back, but I will be cutting it back next year even more. Oh, I just had a, okay, well you're going, oh, look at that, they're already starting. You see those? Those are those flying aphids. Or white flies, I never can tell, but they're about to get sprayed. Not with any chemical, but with soapy water. Anyway, just want to give you a little update, show you a little of what's happening, what's blooming. I'm just so happy spring is here, but it feels like summer's trying to push in early, and I'm not happy about that. I just want to enjoy the pretty spring days as long as possible before I start have to wear my mosquito coverings. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the summer. But the yard does continue to bloom and get colorful. In fact, let me show you just real quick the side yard, because it's also doing good. Of course, I've got my mulching and edging, and I've done it twice now. I've changed my mind about how I want to do it. I was going to put a walking path in, but it's so hard to mow. So I don't know how to, I'm trying to save my husband the stress of having to edge where he could just mow, but I'm not doing a very good job of creating borders. It's kind of sunny, but you can kind of see all the color that's popping up. So we'll get little close-ups. All the violas and pansies. Probably need to harvest that cabbage head. Of course, my shadow's in the way, but the snapdragons, which have been there for a couple years now, they go dormant in the summertime, then they perk back up whenever it's cool in the fall and the spring. I keep them very well watered. Somebody asked me how I was able to keep them alive. Keep them very well watered, and I cut them back, and that's really how I do it. And look at these little pretty daffodils. These are obviously late bloomers, fluffy and ruffly, and they smell good too. And they have, no, there's just one on each, but each stalk has 3. Yep, looking pretty. And I can see that oh, sorry, Mr. Lizard. Didn't mean to scare you. This is yarrow, and it's about to set its buds early, but it's getting ready. And I've already mulched this area. Got all this area done being mulched. It's looking better. Had to transplant, move some seedlings that were in the way of the path to the water. Anyway, just a quick one. I will chat with y'all later. Enjoy gardening.